The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Media Mash,
A roundtable of Cowboys insiders
dropping wisdom
and offering sizzling takes
on the current state of your Dallas Cowboys.
Now, your host,
Newy Scruggs.
Here we are, folks. The first media mash of the regular season is underway here from the Star in Frisco. We got Nick Harris of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, Bobby Belt, 105.3 The Fan, Cowboys Radio Home, JJT. The author is here working on another new book. I know he's been putting in that work. Brother, I feel for you, man. How many interviews you up to now for your book that you're coming up with?
159.
No, sir. No, sir. I'm glad you do it. I'll read it. I ain't trying to ever do anything like that, man. And I am Newy Scruggs here. So let's start off the gate with old Jaylen Carter, Mr. Spitter. Idiot. I mean, I'm sitting there. The three of us sitting in the press box like, is this really happening?
Yeah.
This is happening? Just... You hadn't done nothing, ain't done no work,
Dude.
And then you walking off the field. Big Dom is out here already. They already put Big Dom to work in Philadelphia and having you going out the game.
Talking about, oh my God.
And somebody said, "Do you think he'll be available?" I said, "Oh, in Philadelphia, he'll be available to talk afterwards." No, you don't get to go do something like that and run out, get your clothes and run out. I mean, you would if you're a Cowboy, but not Philly.
Or if you're the Giants' backup quarterback, I guess. Yeah.
Philadelphia, you get to go ahead. You got to show up. Got to get out here and show up. So, Nick, what the league has decided, no suspension for Mr. Carter? What else?
No suspension. He gets fined the equivalent of one game check. So, basically, in essence, he was suspended one game by the NFL, but they ruled that Cowboys game as his one game suspension in essence.
All right. What does everybody think about that?
So they fined him?
They fined him a game check. Yeah.
So I don't know if he gets suspended. Like, if he gets thrown out of a game, I don't think he loses game check. So I'm sure it's just they're trying to match him getting thrown out of the game with the game check that he then got. So, yeah, this is essentially no punishment. Yeah, it's essentially no punishment. But
I don't know, dog. What salary is he on? Is he on the minimum?
yeah, so he's on. It's like a little over $1 million. It's like $1,030,000 or something like that.
I know, chump change for you and I.
Well, I mean, look, at the end of the day, I mean, think about it. You didn't play, and they took a game check away. That you got nothing. You didn't get paid for the week. You didn't get paid for your week,
And you
work,
ain't played.
and you didn't even play.
Yeah.
The only good thing that happened for Jaylen Carter is that they won the football game. If they lose that football game, he's
then
catching.
it's been a much bigger deal.
He'd have been catching all kind of heat in Philadelphia, but you simply cannot do something that goofy. And again,
But dog, he been doing it. That's who he is. But you take his talent, because he got immense talent. But he did it at Georgia. He did it here. I mean, what Bill Parcells say about certain guys, man?
I get it, but still.
What you mean, but still? That's who he is.
I've never seen anybody get thrown out of the game before
Before the game?
before they first snap. I mean, okay, maybe
Well, they had the kickoff. Let me see. I think that I could be wrong. I think when we scrapped with Michigan, we had a couple guys thrown out before the game or right after the kickoff, before the first snap from the line of scrimmage. I think we had a couple and they had one or two.
I think 93 NFC Championship game. Maybe Beamer knows this. When they got into a fight in the tunnel between the Cowboys and 49ers, I think somebody may have been thrown out then before the game started.
I can even see a pregame fight. I can see a pregame fight. But here you are on the field. Play not happen. You go walk over there to do your John. And then,
Oh yeah, that's a chip on your shoulder.
I mean,
looking to be
he got
that
baited.
offended by it.
He got baited by the quarterback, man.
right. To me, I'm sorry.
Masterfully.
I said on you got to that's mental midget right there. I mean, that's a small. Your mental capacity's gone when you can sit up here and get to a football game like this. You've been waiting all summer long. You're a world champ. You're the champ. You're the champ, and you are lowering yourself, going and doing that. It's inexcusable to me. I mean, this is a guy who's won championships at the collegiate level and the professional level, and you let Dak Prescott get you into that. And you're gone. And we were there with when the refs came out to training camp. They told us about the point of emphasis about sportsmanship. Like, we are going to emphasize this year. And we saw a bunch of spitters last year in college football area. Man, that one boy from Oregon, man, he can't stop.
Some of us more than others.
He got like 3. And, and they're telling you, man, you do it, you're gone. I mean, it's I don't get it.
No, but I mean, to JJT's point, like this is who he is. Like I mean, and I know like it's stunning for us, but it's also like the same where it's stunning. Like, why does Vontaze Burfict keep doing what Vontaze Burfict does? Why does this guy keep doing what this guy does? Like that's always been Jaylen Carter. And Jaylen Carter, to your point, like you're a champion. It's like, yeah, he's done all these things and still managed to be a champion at all these different levels and had the success that he has.
I can even see where Vontaze, but you're playing. I'm gonna take it a little too. Okay, you're doing something, but you're not even doing nothing, man.
Yeah,
you just walking over to the huddle and. You got no. Okay.
And spitting is at the top of the disrespect.
Right. If Vontaze Burfict out here trying to get his money's worth, he trying to give you some business. You're not even giving nobody no business. You're not doing nothing. You're not doing anything. I just could not believe what I was watching.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Yeah, it was a bonehead mistake, and he paid for it. All
right,
game check.
So we're doing a Players Lounge podcast here. I want to ask you guys this question here. Miles Sanders.
Caught by a defensive end turned linebacker. I can't forget that. I'm just saying.
If that doesn't happen, he scores a touchdown. We never see the fumble, right? So we're talking.
Yeah.
But going into this game, okay, if Jaden Blue is available, do you put Jaden Blue in the game? Now I went back on a try to be positive here.
Why?
Because it's trying to be. It's the purpose of doing.
So you can change in the offseason.
So 4 carries, 53 yards for him in the game. Yeah, one of them was 49 yards, but he only had 7 less carries than Saquon Barkley in the game. Do you play him this week against the Giants, or do you say, you know what, man, go ahead, sit next to Mazy, watch this thing, and let's go with Blue?
Yeah, I would be playing Jayden Blue. It doesn't matter what's happening. At the expense of Sanders. Yes, it doesn't matter what's happening behind the scenes in my eyes. That kid has more burst. He has more acceleration. He has more value in the receiving game. If he is on that 49-yard run, then he is the one breaking it loose and not getting caught by Zach Bond. So
now maybe he don't see the hole though.
And maybe he doesn't see the hole. Maybe that's a good point.
Maybe he don't see the hole. It's a 2-yard game.
If that's Jayden Blue, I think that's probably a 2-yard game. And that's no disrespect to Jayden Blue. I think that was, if you go back and look at that play, that is an incredibly patient veteran run where he's following his blockers, he's letting the hole develop, and then he's hitting it. I honestly don't know that there's a ton of guys that turn that into 49 yards. Yeah, he got caught. That sucks. I don't know that a lot of guys have the patience and the vision and the bounce to be able to just go through that hole and let it develop the way it did.
Because most guys got more speed, so they ain't got to be.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm still rolling with Blue. I mean, the burst, the acceleration, you have so much more value with that than you do with
you know why he's rolling with Blue?
I do. Look, I love Longhorns. I love Longhorns.
It's deeper than the Horns, even though we kicked y'all butt a couple weeks ago. I was going to let that slide.
14-7. I don't know. Let's kick them butt. But.
Both look bad.
Yeah.
It's all about the young guys, man. He just wants.
It is. I'd honestly have Blue and Sanders active. I wouldn't do it at the expense of either.
Great. I love it because we went down that point well. So if you make Blue and Sanders active, who are you deactivating here? Spanford going to go less at the tight end spot.
Schoonmaker.
I'm down for it. Put all them Michigan guys hit the pine.
Can you imagine?
Put them all on the pine.
Can you imagine Mazy and Scooney sitting there with jerseys
with pom poms,
first, second round picks.
Wow.
I mean, if you're throwing Hunter Lipke out there for 6 snaps,
what's up with that, man?
Yeah, that one's confusing.
If that's all you're going to use him for, make him inactive and continue to run single back.
That confuses me too.
Paid that man and then sat him on the bench. He had more millions than he had plays. How about that?
Hey, man.
Good life.
Sometimes,
it's not bad.
Some of these guys are okay with it, man. Some of these guys are okay with it. So
Jaylen Carter has more millions than he does play, too.
Yes, he does.
And a ring. And a ring. So don't forget that. So that was just one thing I thought about. And of course, Brian Schottenheimer at the press conference said he wished that Javonte Williams would have had a couple more carries. He had 15 carries, 54 yards.
Ain't he in charge of that?
Touchdowns. Yeah.
Okay, then. I mean, if you want to give him a couple more carries, hey.
I did not have an issue with it at all. I mean, so 15 carries for Javonte. Barkley had 18. Mm-hmm. So if he's so you got 22 carries in the football game. Take away 1 from Dak, so it's 21. If he's got 15 to 21, I don't have an issue with that number. Anybody?
No. Mm-mm.
You good with that?
Yeah, I am.
You good?
That was good. Right. He said he wanted to give him a couple more, so give him a couple more.
So it was
calling it.
22 rushes to 34 pass attempts. If the Cowboys are doing that, I don't have an issue, and I would like to think you're going to be in the ability to win most of your football games if you've got that type of run ratio. And if you could figure out how to not lose the turnover battle, because they lost the turnover battle.
Yeah, well, Dak is usually best when he's right around 34, 35.
Mm-hmm.
That's his sweet spot.
That's where I'm thinking. What about you, Nick?
Yeah, I agree, because then he can use that play action to efficiency as well. Whenever he gets in the 40, 45 range, that play action is not used to his 100% benefit.
Yeah, I mean, some of it's chicken and the egg. Like, I mean, you're down, and so you're throwing the ball 40 times or whatever else, or you're not having success. You're having to come back versus you get up, and then you're able to run the ball, and you are limiting the attempts. But, yeah, I mean, generally, his most efficient games have seen him throwing the ball between 30, 35 times, something like that.
And they get the New York Football Giants coming here on Sunday at Jerry World. It's going to be a noon kickoff for the Cowboys here. It's something to kind of keep in mind is – they've lost a game. It was a divisional game to Philadelphia. Now it's another divisional game. If you go down 0-2 in this league, the chances of you making the playoffs are really slim. You go down 0-2 in your own division, that's not good at all, considering you're going to have the Bears and the Packers to close out this month. The Cowboys really need, especially what we saw from the Packers and what we saw from the Bears, Cowboys got to figure out a way how to win the Giants game and the Bears game for sure before the Packers come in.
Yeah, this is arguably a must-win. And week 2, that's tough to say, but it is what it is. And they need to get a stamp in the division. But not only are the Cowboys trying not to go into the division, so are the Giants. That's not lost on them either, coming off of a loss against the Commanders. So it's a big game. It's a big home opener. They need to get a win this weekend, no doubt.
I mean, if they go to 0-2 and it's 0-2 in the division, and you're talking about you drop what is literally, in theory, the easiest division game you're supposed to have on the schedule all year, Giants at home. That should be the game where you take care of business. Yeah, if you were to drop that, that's not a good omen for this team.
I hadn't even considered them losing this game.
I hadn't either, actually. But
I was surprised the line was 5.5. Like, I feel like this is a double-digit win.
It keeps moving. It's going up.
It's going up.
It's going up.
Yeah. Dak Prescott 13-2 all-time against the Giants. The last time he lost was 2016, his rookie season to the Giants.
Is that right?
Yeah, and there was a game up there in Jersey. So
ugly game.
It
was
was
an ugly game.
Yes, it was an ugly game, and Todd Archer was adamant in questioning Jason Garrett afterwards. Why didn't he put in Tony Romo?
Hey, man, you got to take care of your boys.
Todd's still asking that question.
Todd now got into it. He got into it afterwards before we both went on air. Todd, put the flag down, man.
Man, you got to ride for your boys, man.
Come on, man.
We've all had boys, man.
We've all had clients. We've all had our clients. Okay,
we've all had clients.
Right. But your client, it was the end. Okay, it was the end. And it was one of those games where it wasn't all on 4. You know, it's like, man, I know you. Stop. Like it's over.
Yeah, man, I had Quincy Choir for a client as well. Man.
That's your fault.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. See, that's bad.
At the playoffs.
That's called a bad. That's a bad decision.
No, it wasn't. He called one dude back when he got cut.
Yeah, see, there you go.
He called one dude back when he got cut. And all his details splashed 2 headlines above the fold. That's hard to do, brother.
Bill didn't really like me. It was Vinny's job the whole time. He was just waiting.
He got to keep the boxing gloves, though. So
Yeah.
Well, Quincy Levon Carter.
We all got clients, man.
Who was the last client you had?
Let me see.
And who was your best?
Oh, Woody was my best client.
There it was.
He was my best client.
By the way, for those that understand, we're talking about here on the Media Mash. When you're in the media, you do form relationships with people.
Yeah.
And some of the relationships you get are like they're tight. And when you get a client, they're giving you the good stuff, and also you got to ride with them.
You got to ride with them now.
They're the good and the bad.
Right. They get caught
Through the
doing
good
something.
and the bad. You got to ride with them.
You know what I mean? Let's wait on those facts to come out. You got to be real gentle, baby. Got to be real gentle with it. Like, hey,
Nah.
hey, help.
Woody was probably my last client because then I became a columnist, and it's kind of hard. Yeah. It's not as hard to have clients as a columnist, but you know.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I was taking shots at
the client becomes your connect to your boys.
Ryan Washington was a client.
Ryan Wash was a good client, man.
Was a great client.
Wash was a good client. I give you that. What about you, Bob?
Of people not here anymore.
Right.
Randy
Don't
Gregory.
talk about your current client.
Yeah.
Randy Gregory. Randy Gregory.
Gregory.
Yep.
That's interesting.
I don't know if he's a good client or a bad client because he was never.
Which one? Somebody gonna play?
That was a
You suspended again.
Juicy client. Juicy client.
Okay.
Juicy client.
I liked Randy. Randy was always. I'm still riding. I'm riding for my client. He's not even in the league. I do. I love Randy.
Okay.
I loved Randy.
I did not.
I still love Randy.
All right, Nick just showed up. He ain't got no clients.
Yeah, no comment. I haven't been here long enough.
He ain't got no clients he could talk about.
Yeah.
Publicly.
Give me about 2 years.
No, give me about 10.
about 3 weeks, Mazy might be out of here.
Oh my gosh!
Don't take no Michigan client.
right.
Take no.
Yeah, the best Michigan client could have had Jordan Lewis out the door. So that was the best one you could have had. He's gone. He's gone. So
Jay Lewis such a good dude. Even I like him.
Yeah. No. That's Roy Williams was good for me.
Which one?
The DB.
Okay.
DB Roy was good, man. Like
DB or biscuit away from a linebacker, Roy.
Hey man, Pro Bowl, Pro Bowl Roy. Before they changed the rule, Pro Bowl Roy. Yes, Pro Bowl Roy was good. But you just said you do this job here. There are going to be connections you have with people, and you're gonna you gotta go. I used to catch heat in L.A. because for Shaq. Because this was before this
I was gonna say, what's wrong with having Shaq as a client?
Because this was we getting beat by the Sonics in the round one, and Kobe shooting 3 air balls, and it was you can't make free. I was getting that Shaq the first 3 years of Shaquille O'Neal. Dell got fired, and he wasn't in Shaq. Dude, I caught hell for Shaquille, but year 4 finally came through.
That's why you stick with your clients.
That's why you stick with your client.
That's the business model.
Well,
sometimes you can fire a client though. You can fire a client.
You just I always say you just have to make sure whoever you roll, be smart. Yeah. Be smart. I've seen a whole lot of people like, I don't know if I'd have done that one. That was the wrong one. You better be sure. I didn't have many in my career, but just make sure they're good. And then, and then sometimes you got, hey, why does so-and-so have this story? Excuse me? I don't think I got the call. I've had to do that a couple times. I'll put foots in you too. If you're going to put them in me, I'm putting them in you.
Yeah.
You were questioning a little bit, though, when you're having to come up with, why didn't Shaq defend Hersey Hawkins coming into the paint?
I used to do an Ask Shaq segment on the radio, and there's many nights we had some tough ones, boy. We had some, brother. Let me tell you. And then Nick Van Exel saying 1, 2, 3 Cancun. There were some tough nights. Bro, I went through. I used to catch it. He never goes. Then he made the. I want every level. So college and pro. How do I defend you?
That's one.
It's not just you out here saying. What about me? I got 4 hours of ass whooping because you sitting out here saying you whatever little college pro. These high school banners don't matter, Shaquille. Stop it. But it worked out in the end. Like I said, you just want to make sure at the end of the day, too, when something got happen, Gary Patterson called me and he got fired. First one to have it. So just make sure that's it. You want to make sure your people do it. I've seen some people retire and then the Connect didn't get it. Somebody else got it. That's dirty work.
That's dirty work.
Dirty work. So that is a part of what we do here. All right, let's take our first break. When we come back, who is the one player, game 1, that you all said, you know what? I like what he did. And the one player you said, I need to see more. You got to be better in week 2. Do that next right here on the Media Mash. Sponsored by Totito.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment. With blockchain.com, that's never been easier. The Cowboys became America's team by striking bold when it mattered most. Now it's your turn. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys today to get started and learn more. That's blockchain.com/Cowboys.
How about them Cowboys? Or how about them Tyson Cowboys Nuggets? As we cheer for the stars on the field, we love that we've also got some stars on our plate, thanks to Tyson brand star-shaped Cowboys Nuggets. That, along with all our other favorite Tyson Foods products, sure make game day special. Score some delicious Tyson Cowboys Nuggets and become a game day star, just like our Cowboys. As you enjoy your stars on and off the plate, remember, tailgates and game day have always been Tyson.
Cowboys fans, SeatGeek is the only primary ticketing partner of America's team and here to help you experience all the action this season. SeatGeek makes it easy to find the perfect seats to the perfect game, so you can be part of all the touchdown celebrations and momentum-shifting takeaways this season. Whether you're getting tickets to Cowboys games or to any other live event in DFW, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. SeatGeek.
Look, school's starting and I'm just a kid. And let's be honest, I'm not going to shop for myself. but we can get up to 40% off back-to-school essentials on Uber Eats. Did I mention I need poster board for my science fair, lunch for my field trip, and unlined note cards for my history quiz tomorrow? Or were they lined? Anyway, Uber Eats has like all the back-to-school stuff on there. So come on, let's order now on Uber Eats and get up to 40% off. We're cool, right? Cool.
Not literally everything. Promotion ends 9/16 and is subject to change or cancellation. Exclusions may apply. Check app for availability.
Back to Media Mash.
Tostitos team bags are back, and you can get the official chip of the Dallas Cowboys at your local store, available for a limited time. Scan the QR code or visit FritolayExperiences.com for a chance to win epic experiences all season long. One lucky Cowboys fan will win an epic game day experience and get to be a part of the Cowboys Thanksgiving Day traditions, courtesy of Tostitos. Thanksgiving Day, if you've never been to one, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I remember finally checking it off my bucket list, man. And
Cowboys Thanksgiving Day?
Yes. Patrick Mahomes and company this year.
Oh,
there's a lot of family ties in that game. We'll be talking about it the week leading up, but there's multiple. There's like 5 you could point to.
Just fact the teams, 2 former Dallas teams, one in the AFL, one in the NFL. Way before you were born, Bobby. But at one point,
no, I know.
Yeah, way before you were born, Bobby.
Nick remembers all of it.
Stop it. It's a dirty.
What?
You taking the Clarence Hill dirty work spot?
I know. Yeah, Clarence isn't here, so I'm filling with all the just like poking. That's what I'm doing right now.
Cowboys getting ready for their home opener against the New York Giants at AT&T Stadium. That game is noon. So let's go around. No horny. I'll start with you, Nick. Give me the one player against Philadelphia that you said, I like what you did, and the other player, hey, I need to see more from you in week 2.
Yeah, I'll start with Javonte Williams. Those first 2 offensive drives, they were really able to lean on him in the running game and pick up positive yards and sustain drives. I didn't feel like they wouldn't be able to do that out of the gates with Javonte Williams, especially considering he didn't have a training camp. He didn't have a preseason. He didn't have a preseason. He did have a training camp. On the flip side, my God, Kenneth Murray. Can we figure out what to do there? They're gonna have to ride with him for 17 games, and it's gonna be this defense's biggest problem.
He was in Tennessee.
Exactly, and I didn't understand. I didn't really understand the love for the trade when that trade was made. He's a bad run defender. He's not athletic. He's not going to be breaking up into passing lanes, and you saw all of those issues on display on Thursday night. Look, if you're rolling three linebackers out there right now, I'd be going Sanborn and Clark, Leofau until Overshown gets back, and then once Overshown gets back, you flip out Clark and Overshown. Sanborn can handle these green dot responsibilities. He came from this Eberflus defense in Chicago. He understands the system. You don't need Murray out there to communicate it, but I feel like that's going to be the excuse for 18 weeks.
Yeah, the guy that I was really impressed with was Marshawn Kneeland. And then that's just a continuation of everything over the summer. He's been growing his, pass rush toolbox. He's looked really solid in a lot of these practices, whether they've had him, outside or whether they've moved him inside at 3 technique or however they've decided to use him. Seeing it carry over to the games was good. So Marshawn Kneeland was impressive and I think a really optimistic sign. On the other side of that, man, they brought Dante Fowler back for a reason, and they paid him to come back here and be an impact rusher for them, and he was not good enough, consistently enough the other night, and that was against the run or when rushing the passer. So I think they really need to get something out of Dante Fowler.
This may surprise y'all.
All right, Jean-Jacques.
I like what I saw out of Dak Prescott. I mean, we've been seeing good Dak, bad Dak, good Dak, bad Dak. Maybe this is the season of good Dak. He looked athletic in the pocket. He moved around. That one thing where he shrugged the dude off and ran around and picked up a few yards. His balls, his footballs looked good. Showed a lot of accuracy. I thought he played terrific. CD drops some passes he normally catches. It happens. But I love what I saw out of Dak. He baited your boy perfectly. Got him kicked out the game. And, Dak is not a client. His Clarence Hill client. I put all his business out there. But
he is signed with Chill Enterprises.
Yes,
but with Jordy Epstein.
But
I was gonna say,
you're right.
That's her national client. Right
John, we saw that right after the game.
We did.
So after the game, it was clear. Okay.
Very true.
Yes, but I really like Dak, and if Dak is going to play at an elite level, then this team can go better than the 6-10 I thought they were.
Yeah.
Who I didn't like, hey, man, I was a little curious why they gave the tight end that money. I need you to play, Jake Ferguson. I need you to make tough catches in traffic and be Dak's security blanket and be everything Dalton Schultz was, but without being the 7-letter cuss word.
For me, and I don't want to go. I don't want to be redundant with Dak, but he performed well. Tyler Guyton, your left tackle has to be good. Had to be good against Philadelphia. It's the defenses you're facing this year. Hey, you got the Giants coming up, and then end of the month, some dude named Parsons coming to town here. So you needed Guyton to play well, and if he can give you more games like that, then I feel really good about this offensive line and what they can be. And for me, the guy I guess it was CeeDee Lamb. I'm sorry, you can't sit up here, hold out for money, get you $34 million a year, and go dropping balls. I mean, it was like when that was a Clinton, Mr. Go 30, when he did the whole, when he light up the folks. Look at C.D. Davis. Here's Davis. Dropping balls. You can't do that.
Can I tell you something
You cannot do that on the football field in a game like that on national TV. You got to get it done. Go ahead.
I'm going to ask all y'all that. Because my first thought when CD dropped those passes was, this is kind of classic of what this version of the Dallas Cowboys do, which is at critical moments in bigger games, their best players are the ones who let them down. Not some fifth-round pick, some backup, or some guy who's not a star. They're typically, it's their guys who let them down. It's not always the same guy. It's rarely the same guy. But their guys don't pick it up when they need to, and that's why there's been so many disappointments. I mean, that's really why they haven't been to the championship game. They've had teams that are talented enough, good enough to get to the championship game, but in the playoff games and some of their big games, their best players tend to not make the plays need to be made.
I'm glad it happened in week 1, which is, it seems like the annual, I think he'd tell you this, the annual CeeDee Lamb hits a point of adversity or has a very big public adversity moment within a game, whether it's
always in September.
That one or, the sideline standing off by himself against the 49ers in 23, the
Ravens
last year against the Ravens, 22, it was heading into week 3 against the Giants. He had a really rough first half. So, this has kind of been the MO for CD. Has a big pivot point early in the season that says, all right, here's adversity. How are you going to respond to it? And consistently he's responded the right way. So I'm assuming he's going to respond the right way. But yeah, he didn't try to run from anything. After the game, he was very much talking about I got to make those catches. There's nothing to say about it other than just you need to do it. It's so unusual. A lot of big-time receivers will have focus drops or other things like that. It happens. But it's so unusual to see it essentially 3 targets in a row over 2 drives like he had. And I know the third one was, that would have been a difficult catch, but you expect him to make that catch.
It's a catch he can make.
$34 million, you want them to play.
Yeah, 100%.
By the way, Nick Saban had talked about it. He says, hey, one of the coaching lessons he learned was, when you need it, don't think of plays, think of players. Mm-hmm. And I go back to what you said, Jacques Taylor, about the best players not making plays. I used to say about Tony Romo all the time, Tony Romo's not the reason they don't win, but he's a part of it. And there are times when, so here the Cowboys cruising on home to win the race, and they crash the car and turn forward, and you're like, well, what was this? And you can't have that. And CeeDee Lamb dropping those footballs, if Dak put it right there, it didn't happen. You go back to the Green Bay game, in the playoff game. It was Dak and CeeDee both not on the same page, and Micah not making enough plays out there. It's the kind of stuff where I think you're very correct. What is happening here? How come it's not getting done here? And you can point the fingers to a lot of the people that Jerry's paid. And I think one of the reasons why he started guarding his money the last couple of years about, hey, I need to see something out you. I'm sitting up here making you the highest paid, this, that, and the other, and I'm not getting my return on investment. And for game 1, you wanted to see the return on investment. You guys are a little bit young, but you and I remember when Michael Jordan played, he won the game. That's what he did. With Joe Montana, they won the game. That's what he did. You two are old enough to remember Tom Brady. You know what? When you needed it, that's what Tom Brady did. They're in the foxhole. They're down against Kansas City. Tom Brady and company figure out a way to go win. And what's the whole boy who jumped outside for Kansas City and, the Patriots didn't win? That's what they do. That's what they do. And then we saw Sunday night, here's Josh Allen figuring it out. Yeah. Figuring it out, man. And at some point in time, the Cowboys need their guys to go do that very thing. And that was, to me, was a disappointing thing about CeeDee Lamb. This guy has everything you want. Everything you want in a receiver. He didn't get it done.
And he was having a terrific night until then.
Right. Except, yes, all that was good. But when you needed it the most, I need you to go get that. and he had several shots to do it. People like, hey, man, just one shot. Yeah. But, dude, you had several shots and couldn't keep doing it. And that is – I don't know how this season will end, but, boy, you'd hate to look up at the end of the year and say, had we got that one, it could either, A, put us in the playoffs or won the division or done something significant here. So this game against the Giants, look, he should have another good game. But in crunch time, man, we've got to see something better.
In the totality of it, I think there are moral victories you could take away from the Week 1 loss. It's a 4-point loss, defending Super Bowl champions, all that. I think you will look back on this game at the end of the season, though, and realize you let one get away.
So here's my take on that. How many years are we now on moral victory?
Yeah, I'm with 15, you there, too.
We in 15, 20, 20.
Hey, look, 90% of the time, I'm like, moral victories do not exist. I think it could exist in this specific instance because a first-time head coach, a really tough environment, Super Bowl defending champs, all that. But I think it was a game that they should have won. And that's where it's like the moral victory might get taken away a little bit because of all those mistakes they had in the second.
This is Shotty's first moral victory, so he gets the first one.
And so
you think you got the game ball?
so you say that, and then I look at Pete Carroll. You know, here's Pete Carroll the Raiders going east has been bad for years. They go out here to New England, they figure out a way to go get it done. And getting it done with a quarterback, people are like, hey, really, you want Geno Smith? I mean, I look at Pete like, this is a guy, he knows how to close the show.
To be fair, I think Dallas beats New England, if that's who they were playing in Week 1. So, like, I mean, it's New England. I will say, if you want to talk about moral victories, opening night against the defending Super Bowl champions, Dak returning off of an injury, that is literally the same script they ran into against Tampa in 21. And that did spur a positive outcome after that.
See? Man, we just got too – it's just – I mean, for me, I've seen too many. You know,
sure.
You got trauma, man.
You know I got trauma? I'll tell you what, because I covered a Super Bowl team. So I know what it looks like.
Oh.
I've seen it.
You didn't
I seen it. I seen it with my eyes. And St. Ed's. I seen it. Without Emmett and Ed, I seen it. Okay? And saw a lot of stuff in that dugout that I shouldn't have seen.
Yeah.
St. Ed's, boy.
I saw that.
You know, sometimes,
I
boy.
covered the Super Bowl champion in Dallas.
Okay. So yeah. So that's why, Bobby, I can't, man.
Sure.
I know you don't know nothing about that. That's not your fault.
No, I totally.
Not your fault either. But for those of us who saw it, it's like, man, this is how you end up becoming the Cubs. And lovable losers. Maybe this is the year.
Yeah, and I
shooting up opium all the time.
I get, and you know what is a moral victory? Actual victories. Those are moral victories too. You can get the morale out of both of them, so you don't need to lose in order to get a moral victory. Like, I understand that, and I understand. I'm old enough to remember the last one, not the first two, but the last one. I remember Newy. Okay, but I think that
second grade.
I would.
No. I wasn't that, but I grew up. You know, that's another story for another time. But I think when you look at the way that the things they did, the ways that they performed, the things that you saw out of the game that were positives, that's why it's a moral victory, because a lot of these things that were positives that you saw in the game were things you were not thinking were going to be positives this season. And you did it on the road against the Super Bowl champions. Tyler Guyton had his moments where he got beaten, you know, pass protection or things like that. But last year he's hanging his head. Last year he's probably getting dog walked more frequently than he was. And so to me, there's positives that come out of that. There's positives that come out of the way Terrence Steele played. Positives that come out of the way that, you know, guys like Neeland played, like we talked about earlier. So I think there's Diggs coming back and playing at the level he did when there were so many questions about him. I think there's just things collectively that you can take and say, all right, that bodes well for the future.
All right, let's take a break here. Let's go grade the coaching staff, not just Shotty, but the coaching staff overall after game one as they get ready to face the New York Giants. We'll do that next right here on the Media Mash.
How about them Cowboys? Or how about them Tyson Cowboys Nuggets? As we cheer for the stars on the field, we love that we've also got some stars on our plate, thanks to Tyson brand star-shaped Cowboys Nuggets. That, along with all our other favorite Tyson Foods products, sure make game day special. Score some delicious Tyson Cowboys Nuggets and become a game day star, just like our Cowboys. As you enjoy your stars on and off the plate, remember, tailgates and game day have always been Tyson.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Look, school is starting and I'm just a kid. And let's be honest, I'm not going to shop for myself. But we can get up to 40% off back-to-school essentials on Uber Eats. Did I mention I need poster board for my science fair, lunch for my field trip, and unlined note cards for my history quiz tomorrow? Or were they lined? Anyway, Uber Eats has like all the back-to-school stuff on there. So come on, let's order now on Uber Eats and get up to 40% off. We're cool, right? Cool.
Not literally everything. Promotion ends 9/16 and is subject to change or cancellation. Exclusions may apply. Check app for availability.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment. With blockchain.com, that's never been easier. The Cowboys became America's team by striking bold when it mattered most. Now it's your turn. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Visit blockchain.com/cowboys today to get started and learn more. That's blockchain.com/cowboys.
Back to Media Mash.
Cowboys Nation, the 2025 Dallas Cowboys schedule is officially here, and limited tickets are available now. Get ready to bring the noise as you watch the Cowboys live at AT&T Stadium when they host the NFC rival Eagles, Giants, Commanders, plus the Packers, Chiefs, Chargers, Vikings, and Cardinals. Visit DallasCowboys.com/tickets or SeatGeek.com, the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. That is a solid home schedule when you think about all the good quarterbacks and good players that are going to be coming in here at AT&T Stadium this year. So there you go. There you go. You're in the Media Mash. Got Jean-Jacques Taylor, Bobby Belt. You got Nick Harris. I am Newy Scruggs here. All right, Bobby, I'm going to start with you. The coaching staff overall, not just Shoddy, but the staff of guys he has after week one. What'd you like? What'd you give him a grade?
Yeah, I would say there's only obviously so much we can know about specific coaches. Like we know what Shoddy's calling plays. We can see that. We can see stuff that Eberflus is doing. I think there's a tendency sometimes like you see success from a certain position group and then people just naturally go like, oh, that position coach must have been great or this or that. Like I don't know what the Clayton Adams impact necessarily is in the run game. But like you assume that he probably did some things to help. But
offensive linemen were moving a lot more.
And that's the thing. It's like you assume, but like it's one of those things where like you can't know for sure. I can for sure see the play calling. So to me, Shoddy gets an A. Like I thought overall, the pace of the game, the things that they were doing, the way that when they would convert the third and shorts, they were immediately getting into tempo. They were catching Philadelphia off guard. I thought all that was really great. Eberflus, C, I guess, because to me that first, I don't know how you go through that first half and you don't try to send a blitz. I know it's generally against that line of thinking that he comes from. He comes from that Rod Marinelli line of thinking. They don't blitz very often. It's 4 rushers. That's what they do. The defensive tackles get upfield. Sometimes it creates running lanes and quarterbacks scramble for a bunch of yards. All that was playing out the way it normally does. But I did like that he, in the second half, and especially coming out of the delay, went, all right, let's send some corner blitzes. Let's do some exotic things. Let's catch them off guard. And it worked. They were having a lot of success.
Only 3 points to get.
So to me, I think it's
second half at home.
I think it's because it was a bad first half and a good second half that overall, I'll give him a C+, because to me, it's on the second half end, it showed a willingness to say, I'll make some adjustments here that maybe I'm not normally comfortable with.
No, I would agree with that. Eberflus was driving me crazy in the first half. I mean, just like, dude, you got no pass rushers, at least for today. You just can't sit back there and get a dude all day. And so, but he cleaned it up in the second half. I liked a lot of what Shoddy did. I liked the motion. I liked the movement. But, it's one game. I'm trying not to overreact.
So what do we have that first half? 7 possessions and 7 scores for all combined?
Yeah.
I mean, so Vic Fangio, Super Bowl winning coach who has the blueprint of the Cowboys.
He got Dak's blueprint.
Yeah, but first half, he blueprint nothing.
No.
Nobody was defensive. There's no defense in the first half.
Yeah, before Bobby started going, I had A in my mind for Shoddy and B- for Eberflus. I guess the only reason I would give it a little bit of a bump on Eberflus's part, I mean, you give up 123 yards on the ground in the first half, and it looks like all the issues that you've ever had on this defense in the run game are just being extenuated going into this season. And then 35 yards allowed in the second half. There was a stretch of 7 carries that Saquon Barkley had at one point where he only had 1 yard, and that doesn't happen under any of the recent defensive coordinators or the recent defensive systems. So I do give credit in that area. I think that was more so Kenny Clark stepping up and finally making some plays there in the second half, and I thought he really played well in the second half as the game settled in a little bit. But from a pressure standpoint, I mean, this team was pressuring on 42% of Jalen Hurts' dropbacks. I think the biggest indictment against Matt Eberflus in this game was not putting a spy on Hurts and early in the second quarter. You don't see a lot of those scrambles from Jalen Hurts if you dedicate a Maris Leofau or even a Damone Clark to, if you don't want to put Leofau on the field for some reason, Damone Clark to spying Jalen Hurts and keeping his legs from killing you in the defensive game. But overall, that was his biggest indictment on my end, was not putting a spy on Hurts early in the second quarter.
What's the deal with Leofau?
Yeah, and that's the big one for me. I guess the biggest thing that I can attribute to it was, okay, you look on the depth chart and they have it listed as Damone Clark or Maris Leofau. So it's probably more so a matchup based, decision to put Clark in the game or put Leofau in the game as they game plan throughout the week. I would imagine that this is, again, me theorizing. I would imagine that they were expecting more between the tackles action, and Damone Clark has a little bit better body to do that rather than Maris Leofau. And so that they put him in the game. But I don't agree with that. I think you need athleticism in that second level. Maris Leofau is your most athletic guy in that second level when DeMarvion Overshown is not healthy. He would have been able to limit those Jalen Hurts scampers. He would have been able to limit that short to intermediate range pass game stuff. There was only one completion that Jalen Hurts made further than 10 yards down the field. And that is a big indictment on the second level and their pass coverage. And I think a guy like Maris Leofau doesn't allow that to happen.
To your point, and this is just kind of what I think about a staff, it's a first game. Guys are figuring out who can do what and how to play them. And I think Shotty kind of addressed it in the press conference to say, hey, the guys earned some snaps here. And we'll see what happens in practice here, but there are going to be some more guys who you say, hey, look, this matchup fits here, and this player's going to develop some more. And so, yeah. So, I know your frustration of Kenneth Murray here. We could see some things changing. It's fluid. As Jack always said, sports is fluid. Sports is fluid. So the lineup you have here that starts against Philadelphia, you learn a little bit more, see what changes against the Giants, and by the time we get to the Packers, we can see who knows what we're seeing.
It just always feels like this team overstays their welcome with their problems, though. I mean, Mazy Smith should have been addressed a long time ago. That's just one example, but it just always feels like this team, when it has a problem, it deflects that problem for as long as it can until it doesn't.
You're young, but the Flozell Adams staying here at left tackle for as long as he did was one of those where you're just like, really? What are we doing? But that's Jerry. Now, so Jerry's a general manager who's going to keep you a year too long. Bill Belichick was the GM coach who's going to get rid of you a year early.
Jerry's got clients too.
Along with Bill Walsh. Yeah. Jerry's bringing back Zeke. Zeke. He was bringing back Zeke. Like, what are we doing here? By the way, I was looking on the list today and just I was like, let me go back to the 2016 draft. Like, who's forgot that, Goff went 1, Wentz went 2, then it was Bosa, Zeke. I forgot Kenny Clark was in that draft.
Mm-hmm.
First round. Still playing.
Kenny Clark, your highest rated defensive player, according to Jerry Jones this morning, from their internal grades.
Oh, he's going to be that every week.
yeah, exactly. They're going to give up 350 yards on the ground. Kenny Clark looked great.
He had a busted up lip yesterday in the locker too.
We're interviewing. He's like bleeding. Like, hey,
he
clubber lang.
Playing a little physical practice. That's all.
So forgive me for not listening to your show this morning. I forgot.
I
forgot that today's that day. I'm getting back to used to.
Yeah.
That Monday was awful for me. I fell asleep during the day. I wasn't used to a late night. Did he mention Mazy? Was that mentioned? Was it addressed?
Sort of. Yeah. I mean, he was asked about Mazy. He didn't quite hear he addressed Jayden Blue being inactive. Then he followed up and said, "Sorry, who was the other one?" I said Mazy Smith. And he goes, "Yeah." And it just kind of like blew by it. But he did say he expected it to be the same this week.
Yeah.
He expected Blue and Mazy to be inactive this week.
Well.
And this is Tuesday, dog.
It's very early in the week. So yeah.
So is Mazy listening to the show the way?
Your boy,
Dalvin Cook was listening last year to figure out where he go play. Just him and his people tuning in to Tuesday.
Hey, it's 8:30. Wake up.
To see if we're playing or not.
Mazy may not have to tune in to know the answer.
Yeah.
Which sucks. Like, I mean, and because I feel like actually Mazy's, I don't know, at least in dealing with us and talking to the media, I feel like Mazy's attitude and demeanor and approach to things has gotten
better,
grounded and better and things like that. But I don't know. That may just be what we see. They out there, they may be seeing something completely different in terms of like the way that he's approaching the work and the way he's approaching adversity. They may feel like he's not checking those boxes.
Sometimes, man, you can just try. You just ain't no good.
Yeah.
Like you can practice hard, you can try hard, you can study hard, you just ain't no good.
He's not doing any of that though. That's the problem.
Oh, well.
That's the issue.
So Broadus has said on the Fan and on Cowboy podcast here, he just thinks he's in the wrong system. He thinks this is not a good system for the.
Well, he did play that read and react all in college.
Man, I don't know. It's been. We've had Mazy at 335. We've had Mazy at 290. We've had Mazy rushing the passer. We've had Mazy playing one technique. We've had Mazy at 350. I don't think that. I think they're trying to figure something out. I don't think they want their first round pick to be a failure. This is honestly two very different players. Second round pick versus first round pick. This feels very much like Tristan Hill all over again.
Yeah. Which case? So why is he still on the team?
Because he was a first round pick.
I mean, they got rid of Taco Charlton at the same time of his career.
See, I thought he was just on the team, in case we have an injury.
I think it's honestly just being completely thin at defensive tackle.
Yeah, absolutely. And the reality of it is, if they were to bail on Mazy Smith, he would get picked up by somebody else in the league because the defensive tackle situation
right
is
out of the
still
gate.
bad.
Jim Harbaugh would be one who
absolutely.
Grab him. So yeah. Let's end the show there. Let's do it tomorrow.
On a negative.
You want to end with a positive? You got a positive here?
Yeah, Ohio State ranked number 1.
Cowboys win Sunday.
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, there you go.
Something we all care.
Cowboys win big Sunday.
Something people care about.
Win big.
Yep.
Something people care about here. Nick Harris, Bobby Belt, Jean-Jacques Taylor, I'm Newy Scruggs for Chris Beam, Josh, everybody else a part of the staff. Thank you so much. This is Dallas Cowboys production.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?